Thought I would give you a quick run through of a typical work list that I get quite often from property owners. This will probably take about 2 or 3 days, just a load of small sort of items, so I'll just run through them quickly. What I'll be doing, the client here has just had new tiles fitted on the floor. Obviously the kitchen plinths now are too big to go under the unit, so I basically need to rip all those down. Here are the plinths that go under the unit. I'm going to have to rip about 10mm off each plinth and then refit. The next item is, last time I was here the client had a TV, a bit higher up on the wall. They've actually lowered it was too high, so basically I need to fill these holes. Nothing major, it's just fill a lot of these holes and obviously repaint the wall. The cables haven't been put in the wall with this TV install. It wasn't me that done it, I think the client done it himself. So I basically need to fit a back boxing behind the TV with a faceplate, and then run the cables down behind the wall. So in the back of the TV I'll get a plate in there somewhere on the wall, and then there's a cupboard down here. There's no point in filming that, it's very dark, but basically I'll put a plate in the wall behind there and run the cables from the TV through the plate at the bottom, and then he wants to house all his DVD players and stuff like that in that cupboard. The next job is basically just a replacement of this light here. I'll be taking this light out and fitting a new LED external light there. Another job on the list is these baseboards are skirting boards all around the lounge. They've just had this newly decorated, but the decorators failed to put the decorator's caulk all along the skirting board, so the finish is not very good. So what we're doing here is caulking all the top of the skirting boards around the whole room, and then we'll try and just blend in the paint, paint over the caulk and blend it in as best we can. Just more footage of the skirting boards. I don't know how well that's coming out, but there's a huge gap in behind the skirting boards, between the wall and the board. This is an old cottage, so the walls are not true at all, so you need to pack this with decorator's caulk, flush it off and then paint it. This will be coming out and we're just going to put in a standard pendant, hanging down here so they can have a little lampshade in there. That'll be that. Yeah, another item in the kitchen, sorry, I don't know, I'm just down on my hands and knees here. Yeah, there was obviously skirting boards on here before the guy tiled it, but what they're wanting is this flush to the just filled flush to the tiled floor. So I'll just have to fill this with Gyproc and then a finishing compound over the top and do it, take it flush to the floor as best we can. Another item is to refit this light. I don't know if you can see that, but it's coming away from the wall. I don't know what's going on there. I'll have to take that off and just have a look at the bracket and resecure. It's probably inadequate fixings. I'll investigate that once I get it off. The bathroom, it's quite a newly fitted bathroom, but they do have an issue down here where the shower tray's been laid top. It's actually been grouted between the tiles and the shower tray. So obviously when there's somebody in the shower tray, it's flexing. It's cracked all the grout along there, so what we're going to do here is take out this line of grout right along the top of the shower tray and put a flexible sealant in there, silicone, and that should help with the problem that they're having. Customers kindly left post-it notes where they want the items. There's a toilet roll holder to be fitted here, obviously. Something else. Towel ring there. Something else in the shower. Some sort of shelf to be fitted there. So So obviously we'll be fixing these items to ceramic tiles. So I'll be needing the ceramic drill bits for that. Another item is this door. The door lock's not working, and also the door doesn't close, so I need to take the door off and plane this edge here just to get the door to fit properly. I don't really know what's going on there. I'll have to take it off and have a closer look. I'm not sure if you can see, but we've got another roller blind to fit over this door. This is just a small door looking out on a balcony, but we want a roller blind down here. A blackout blind, you know, just to black out the daylight. The general purpose of this video is basically to show you the handiness of a Veto Tech XL. The way I have this set up is, if you've seen my other video, I'll try and put a link. See if that works. Link there, should pop up shortly, to my Tech XL overview and how I've got it set up. But yeah, I can just walk into a property like this with the jobs I've described, and pretty much this bag deals with them all, with the exception of a couple of power tools, you know. But no, it's so handy. One thing I would say I'm finding with this bag, I've not had it too long to be honest, so I'm still sort of testing it out, but it is fairly heavy. So I do have a TP4B, which I'm gonna pretty much downsize this and put a lot of things in the TP4B as much as I can, to be honest, to do quick service type calls or maintenance type calls. So it would have a little bit of electrical, plumbing, just general tools. Okay guys, it's the first job complete. Well, nearly I've got one left, but the kitchen plinths, they're both in position. This one's here's in, this one here's in. Got one last one to do here. All I'm doing is setting this up on its end and running a plane along the top edge there. Right guys, I've got this plinth here that I need to get back out. It's very difficult to get my hand in there, to pull it out. I mean, that end's fine, so I can get my hand around the back of there and get that clip disengaged. There's a clip here somewhere. It's difficult, so that's where the pick comes in handy. I think I showed this on my Tech XL video, but pretty much chuck it under, turn it, and then pull the plinth. I'll show you here. Like that. Alright guys, it's the new LED light fitted. If you remember the old one, it's quite short actually. This is within a porch area. So that's it. Okay, that's the light on. Just a more modern look. Of course, LED, so energy saving as well. There we go. Okay, just a quick update of where we are. This was the bottom of this wall, which was all blown out after the skirting boards had been removed. The client didn't want new skirting boards on there, so we're filling it flush with the floor. This is obviously just the first fill of Gyproc. Once that's gone off, we'll give that a sand and then go over it with a finishing compound, which will blend it in smooth with the walls, and then we'll sand it and paint it, and then we'll seal the tiles to the bottom of the walls. Right guys, we're back at this wall. This has now had a good coat of standard Gyproc. It's the really strong filler to cover most of the gap at the bottom. Then it's had two fills with Gyproc Easy Fill 20, which gives you quite a good finish, but not 100%. You can still see all those little marks there. So the finish could be a little bit better. So what I move on to now, this is just standard for me, is the Gyproc Pro Mix Light. This takes a bit longer to dry. Typically 8 hours to dry this stuff, but if you put on a thin finishing coat, and I've came prepared today with a hair dryer stroke heat gun and a heater, so what I'll be doing is applying thin coats to this and drying it out as quickly as I can. You won't get too much shrinkage with this because it's just really thin coats I'm applying. Get that dried out, and then we'll hopefully get it coated of paint today and get this job finished. At this point. Okay guys, just a quick video of what I'm doing here. I don't know if you remember, but there's only about an inch gap we had to fill there. But the way to, to get it feathered in, you have to take the filler, a fair distance up the wall. Maybe not that high, so it'll be a bit overkill, but it's just to feather it in. Once it's sanded, you shouldn't notice, any difference down there. So all I'm doing is gently dragging this up. There's a few minor imperfections there, but they'll sand out easily. That should be pretty good once that's dried out and sanded. This Easy Mix, this Pro Mix is really good to work with. It's just like spreading butter on, some of them dry out far too quickly. That Easy Fill 20 is quite difficult to use. It dries out quick, but this stuff gives you a lot of work time. It just smears on like butter, so that's what I use. Right, process of drying it now, out with the heaters and the heat guns. Okay, just got it set up now, drying. Just a small heater there, and got a hairdryer / heat gun for any, deeper spots. So I'll just leave that just now. Once it's dried out, obviously give it a finish sand and a couple of coats of paint, and we're going to seal the bottom. We'll give it a clear bead of silicone, just as it's been a kitchen floor. That'll be us. Okay, this has only been drying for about 20 minutes, but already you can see it's pretty much dry. The light white colour there, you see the darker colour here, that's still damp, so we'll get that dried out as well. But shows you this method, shows you how quick you can do it. That's 20 minutes, get it sanded, touch up any minor imperfections, same process, heat, sand again with a Scotch-Rite pad, and then we'll get the first coat of paint on, and we'll take it from there. Right guys, here's the finished wall. So I've miscoated it and put another 2 coats of paint on it. Turned out okay. So now all we need to do now, I'll be running a bead of clear silicone along the base here. Just for if there's any spills in the kitchen or whatever, it doesn't affect the wall. Obviously we normally have a skirting board along here. I did advise the customer that that's what you should do, but he didn't want it. He wanted it flushed out the floor for some reason. So it is quite open to damage, if you're cleaning the floor or vacuuming or anything like that. But do what he says. That's it, done. Just whilst I had the filler out, we've filled the wall above the TV. Again, this is just a first fill of Gyproc, and we use a finishing compound to finish that properly and then paint it. The light's now fixed, the one that was hanging off the wall, that's done. New light pendant up there. There's a couple of old holes I've had to fill from the old light fitting. New pendant up there. I'm just in the process of putting this skirting board back with the brad nailer just now. And just stuffing Gyproc down the back of the skirting board. We'll obviously finish that with decorator's caulk, sand it all and paint all that. That'll be that done. Bathroom, toilet roll holder fitted. Towel holder fitted. And a new rack in the shower. rack for holding shampoo and stuff, so that's fitted as well. Okay, I'm just in the process of hanging a mirror in the bathroom. Obviously I need to drill through ceramic tiles. These are the drills I use. I find them great, you know, they're fantastic. They're made by Heller. So I'm going to use a 6mm drill bit up here. I'll just show you. There we go, 6mm drill bit. This is in the impact driver. As I've said before, just for efficiency reasons, it saves me going out to the van for a drill, so that's it. And just drill. I've already marked this actually, and just okay, so that's the hole drilled. These are the plugs I use. Fisher dual power. So effectively, just plug in, gentle tap. Careful not to crack the tile. So what we'll do now is run a line along here, take our measurement, mark our hole, do the same again, and then that'll be the mirror. Okay, so we've marked the next position of our next hole. I just want to demonstrate these drills are excellent. As soon as you put them on the mark and just pulse them very slightly, I mean, it marks the ceramic straight away. There's no need for a masking tape, you know, for it slipping or anything like that. Now these are really good, so if you ever need to drill ceramic tiles, those Heller drills are fantastic. Okay, so the mirror now fitted. That completes all the jobs in the bathroom. Right guys, this is basically what I'm doing with the decorator's caulk. Firstly, I'm using the brad nailer to, you know, nail the baseboards or skirting boards as tightly to the wall as I can. And then for the gap, I'm just running a bead of decorator's caulk, you know, ensuring it's tightly packed right down the back of the skirting board and then flushed off at the top. I'll leave that overnight tonight to basically cure, and then we can think about painting tomorrow. I'll just basically be painting the edges of this and try to just blend it in. The room's fairly new, well, it's newly decorated, so it should blend in no problem. Yeah, so you can see the gap that the decorators left, which is ridiculous. So we'll get that sorted out. Okay, so another part of this job, as we discussed before, we've filled the holes in the wall with the TV. We've taken the TV off the wall. And now we're just going to put our dry lining box in here to run the cables basically down to the floor level. So the first thing I've done, I'm using this is the Hansen stud finder. I've already done this, but I'll do this to show you again. You just wiggle it about the wall till it finds a stud. You can spin it so you know there's a screw there. Onto the stud, just follow that line down. Yeah, there's another one. So that tells you there's a stud up there. As I said, I've already done this before I cut this hole. And then over here, it's the same thing. You just keep moving it until you find a nail, a screw, sorry. Another one there. So if we come back a bit, we know there's a stud there, and we know there's a stud there. Hence why we're cutting this hole here. That's a cavity which we'll run the cable down. We'll cut a dry lining box on the reverse side of this wall to take the cables out the other side, and then obviously put a face plate on it. That'll be that part of the job done. Okay, so tried the box in the hole, and as per usual my cutting's slightly off, so it's a bit tight in here and at the top, so I'll just use the rasp. hopefully that should fit now. Okay, so that's the dry lining box in. Obviously the TV will go up here, the cables come out roughly. There's HDMI cable, comes out the TV, power cable, and a coax cable comes out the TV. So there's 3 cables that go through. We'll put them through this hole here, run them down inside of this wall. As I said, we'll be cutting a dry lining box at the reverse side of this wall. Okay, so here we are, fishing cables. This is where the new dry lining box will go. I'm just in the process of getting dropping the cables from the TV or the other dry lining box down through here. We'll get all this sealed up with the dry lining box and the faceplate on, and the cables will be neatly ready for client's equipment, which will be housed in this cupboard. So we're just coming around here. I'll look up there. That's the other box there, so they were feeding the wires down through. Yeah, so get that done, and I'll show you the finished article what we've done. Right guys, it's just a look at the plates I use for for the cables coming through the wall. It's basically a letterbox style plate, See the cables coming out there. That's it. Sometimes I do use actual HDMI plates, on the wall with a wire down, so you can plug equipment in and out. Coax plates, all that type of things. But this one, it's in a cupboard. That's all it needs, a plate like this. Yeah, the homeowners in the process of getting their stuff linked up here. Skybox, PlayStation 4, the type of thing. It'll all be housed in here, and then it gives you the neat look there. Okay guys, just a final overview of the TV area. Obviously the skirting's all filled now, painted. The wires are run down behind this wall and they come out the cupboard in the back of there. All these holes are filled up here. Wall painted. Yeah, turned out good. Okay guys, so now we're gonna... If you remember, I think I pointed out that the client here is having problems with when they have a shower. This grout's all cracked, and it's like falling out. So I think, well, the only solution I can think of is dig the grout out. I'll be using my multi-tool there. Dig all this grout out, right along this edge here, and then we'll fill it with a flexible sealant, silicone sealant. I think that should help them out. Okay, so I'll just show you how we're going to do this with the multi-tool. Just have to be really careful because this is obviously acrylic. We don't want it to slip and scratch the surface, so here goes. Okay, yes, I'll continue doing that all the way along. I don't know if you can see, effectively digging out that line of grout along the top, and then we'll pump it full of silicone. Okay guys, so for tight areas such as in here, we obviously need another attachment for the multi-tool. This is where the DeWalt's really good. I mean, you basically just leave it, pull the old one out, put the new one in. This is the one I'm going to use. This allows us to, get into these tight spaces without marking this wall. I'll change the angle slightly. You'll see what I mean here. So I'm going here like this. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see how tight that's getting in. That goes right into the corner without damaging the face of this tile here. So yeah, these attachments are great. I use these. Okay, so all I've done basically is pump the silicone into the void between the tile and the ceramic shower tray. Not ceramic, acrylic shower tray. I'm not looking for a finish at this point. It's just basically pumping the silicone in to give it a flexible, a flexible cushion between the acrylic tray and the tile. I'll give that an hour or so. I'll take the masking tape off and then I'll run a finishing bead right along there, and that should hopefully do the job. This is an update on the roller blind. It was part of this job. Fitted that blackout blind, chains. Yeah, so it's fine. And down here, basically just mask the skirting board. You know where the new caulk line was in behind the skirting board? So just mask that edge, just put a quick first coat on to match the wall. All the way around here. We'll let that dry and then we'll do a second coat. Take the masking tape off and it'll look good as new. Okay. Okay, so this is where we've been working today, or the last couple of days. This is outside the entrance to a medieval castle.